cold read. Now, cold read is something that we do when you first see a book and you've never read it before. And I'm only going to ask you to read for 1 minute. So hold on one second. I'm going to get my phone and my timer, and I am going to time you for 1 minute, and I'm going to see how many words you get correct, how many words you can read correctly in 1 minute. And like I said, it's called a cold read, okay? So you've never seen this book before, and we're just going to start on page 1, okay? So the title is Deputy Dan and the Bank Robbers, okay? So whenever you're ready, you start. Let's make sure we're on the right page. Okay, chapter 1. Go ahead.
I live in Lunch City. Lunch City is a perfect place. My job is to keep it that way. I am the new sheriff. My name is Dan. It is Monday, June 1st. It is hot. I am sitting in Sheriff Ding's office. The sheriff is my boss. We are having milk and cookies. We hear I cook. Who is that sheriff?
Okay, good job. All right, so now we're going to go back and we're going to count all the words that you got correct, okay? Now, typically if I'm at home, I would have a notepad next to me and I'd be writing down the words that she might not have gotten correct. That way, I'm not interrupting her. I'm just quickly writing down the words that I saw that she either mispronounced or skipped or read incorrectly. So now we're going to count together. So 1, 2, 3. This is gulch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This word is peaceful. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You said sheriff, right? This is deputy. Okay, so this is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. This is Digby. Okay, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. That's a lot. 51, 52, 53. This word is knock, the K silent. So 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Okay? So that's where we stopped, right? Okay, so we got 65 words per minute on our cold reading. That means we've never read it before. So what we have is a graph. And so when we're at home, we're going to get to fill this graph out because when we talk about fluency, we have goals that we need to make. So one of the goals is I want you to be able to read 90 words per minute. Now, it was a cold read, so there's words that you maybe weren't quite sure about, so you did your best and worked hard. So our goal, we read the book. We're going to write the title here and then the date. This is something our parents are going to do. And we're going to count how many errors we had. I would have written down your errors, okay, so that would have been written down for me, and that was our first time that we read it, and we get to color all the way right here, 65. So then now throughout the week, because this was Monday, throughout the week, we're going to get to read this book together and in different ways, and I will model how we can do that together. And then on Thursday, right before you come, so Thursday night before Friday, we're going to read it. I'm going to time you doing the exact same at the very beginning and see how much faster you've gotten. Because that's the goal, is to start on Monday at like a 65, and by Friday you want to go even faster and read even more words, okay? So let's pretend that it's Tuesday and we've read our book and we're kind of familiar with the story, all right? We're going to start over, and this time we're going to do something called paired reading. That's when you and I are going to read together. I'll read and you read, and it's kind of like we're reading it at the same time. So you ready to get started? Okay. I live in Gulch City. Gulch City is a peaceful place. My job is to keep it that way. I am the new deputy sheriff. My name is Dan. It is Monday, June 1st. It is hot. I am sitting in Sheriff Digby's office. The sheriff is my boss. We are having milk and cookies. Okay, great job. So one thing that I want to note is that although I'm reading just a little bit louder than she is and a little bit faster, I'm doing it because I want her to model my rate of reading. She's reading a little bit slower because she's not quite sure of all of the words, which is fine, but as parents and to increase fluency, we want to show her that this is the rate of reading that sounds the best, and I'm also modeling how my voice goes up and down depending on how I'm reading. So we don't sound like a robot, we're reading with expression, and we're also paying attention to the punctuation marks. If it's an exclamation point, my voice will be a little bit more excited. If it's a question, my voice goes up to indicate that we're reading a question. She's doing a great job. This is called paired reading. So now let's pretend that it's Wednesday. It's kind of like taking turns. I'm gonna read a sentence and then you're gonna read it the exact same sentence, but you're gonna try and mimic how I say it. Mimic means kind of like a parrot. Like I say good morning and you say good morning. Kind of like copycat, okay? So I'm gonna read the sentence and then you read the sentence, but try and match how I say it, okay?
Good.
We hear a knock.
We hear a knock.
Who is that? Sheriff Digby asks me.
Who is that?
Sheriff Digby asks me. We're gonna do that part again. Who is that? Sheriff Digby asks me.
Who is that? Sheriff Digby asks me.
Good. I say, I do not know.
I say, I do not know.
Okay, did you hear me saying, I do not know? Let's try again. I say, I do not know.
I say, I do not know.
Good job. Now I'm going to be a little bit silly, but it's only because I want you to match what I'm saying, okay? So I might change my voice a little bit. We hear another knock.
We hear another knock.
No, you can do better than that. We hear another knock.
We hear another knock.
Good. Answer the door, says Sheriff Digby.
Into the door, say Sheriff Digby.
Okay, we're going to try one more time, but I want you to sound like a really girly little girl. Answer the door, says Sheriff Digby.
Into the door, say Sheriff Digby.
Good job. So basically what I'm doing here is making reading a little bit more fun. I'm also making sure that she's trying her best to match my voice, the pitch of my voice, and how I'm reading. I'm reading with expression, and I get to choose however it is I want to read because it's my book and my time with my child. You did a great job. So now we're going to pretend like it's Thursday night, and we've already read the book a bunch of times together, and now we get to time you one more time and see how much further along you've gone, okay? And we get to record it, right? So technically on your chart it says 3 times. So you can do what's called a hot read, which is reading the book after it's already been introduced to the child. You can do that in the middle of the week just to see her progress. And then again on Thursday, that'll be what's called the final read. So again, you just a 1-minute timer and your child is sure to increase by a little bit, and that is the goal, to go up. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 10. The goal is to go up. You did a great job. Thanks for helping. So one thing that I want to add is that it's super important to also practice sight words when you're at home with your child. So not only is fluency something that we're going to work on at home by reading the stories that the kids are going home with, we're also going to focus on the sight words that your teacher is going to provide to you. The reason why we focus on sight words, particularly those first 100 Dolch sight words, are because those are the most frequent words that kids see in books. And if you know them just based off sight without having to sound them out, the child's more likely and is going to read much faster. There are lots of really fun ways to practice sight words at home. You can, of course, put them on a ream and literally do flashcards. You can also do a really fun one that I like called Password, where you place some of the sight words on doorways in your house or the refrigerator or the microwave, and the child can't pass through that doorway or cannot open the refrigerator or can't microwave anything until they read aloud the password, aka the sight word, that's on the wall or wherever it is that the child might be. It gets them to see the word more frequently, and it makes it a little bit more fun than just rambling off flashcards. Another fun way to practice your sight words is by putting them down on a plate and using what we call wiki sticks. They're like wax sticks that you can find at the Dollar Tree, and the kids form the words this way. Play-Doh is also a really fun way to form your words when you're practicing your sight words. There's also fun ways of just using a pencil and paper, squiggly words, writing it down that way, rainbow spelling. There's also a really fun thing to do with sand, where you just throw some sand down on a plate and have the child use their fingers to spell out the sight word, and then of course read the sight word while they are engaging in the fun activities. Again, it's super important to practice your sight words. We can't stress enough that knowing your sight words, especially your on-level sight words, are going to push fluency more than pretty much any other way of practicing reading. The reason why we're pushing fluency so much is because when the child reaches testing grade, 3rd and 4th grade, the faster they're able to read a passage and comprehend what it is that they're reading and answer comprehension questions or other questions that go along with the test is crucial. The faster they know how to do it, the more questions they're able to answer and possibly even go back and correct themselves or double check. If a child's low on fluency, they're going to struggle with the passages that are in front of them, and that's across the board. English, math, science, social studies, everything involves reading. So the more fluent a child becomes when they're reading, the better and more likely they are to score higher and be more successful.